This is a 1974 Norton Commando 850. It's not a Restomod, it's a rebuild mod. Restoration implies that you're bringing it back to original OEM spec. This is anything but that. So, with that said, for all of you purists out there that don't like these kind of builds, I would suggest you leave the channel now and go over and watch reruns of Danny Kaye dancing with frickin' Bing Crosby. And we'll leave a link below, www.idon'tcare.com. Okay, with that said, this is a build that took me a number of years, 5 to 6 years. Known as a collaboration build with a gentleman, Matt Rambo of Colorado Norton Works fame. Matt and I worked on this bike back and forth. It's been to his shop twice. Matt builds insane Norton Commandos, $40,000 and up, mostly international clients. I wanted Matt's quality in the bike, but I wanted to build it myself. Now, there's things I couldn't do, obviously, like CNC machining and other stuff that Matt had to do. So the bike's been to Colorado twice just to have those specialty work done on it. What I could do, I did. But I have to thank Matt Rambo for the majority of this build. Without him, this bike would never be what it is. Okay, the paint on this Norton, this is not decal, this is all hand painted. A gentleman named Brent Budjor of the Vintage Vendor in Vermont did this. I had to send this, and the two fenders to him. All hand striped, everything done by hand. And the quality lasts. It really looks good to this day. Hats off to Brent for doing a phenomenal job on the paintwork. Most of this you see down here is not chrome, it's polished aluminum. It's kind of a lot to keep up, but I think it looks really, really good. There's a lot on this bike that's underneath the skin you don't see. I'll just start with what's up front here. Brembo, beefy, meaty, stop-all Brembo. The previous original Gen 1 disc brake that was on this bike, all I did was turn on the brake light on the tail lens. I think that's all it was good for. You got it in the wet, you couldn't stop at all. This system here, as good as it looks, it stops exceedingly well. I don't really use the back brake unless I have to do trail braking for certain occasions. I rely mostly on the big Brembo right here. These spokes are stainless steel from Buchanan Spokes, and the rim is a light alloy. I had that done at Buchanan because they're the best in the business. Don't have to shine these up. Don't worry about rust or corrosion. Stainless steel is the way to go. Headlight, it's halogen headlight, much better than before. You can actually see at night versus the old one where you couldn't see anything. The electrical system has all been redone. It's a modern 12-volt system. Really has a nice components in it. New 3-phase stator in it. The ignition coil, it's a single coil rather than the old dual, so it's a dual fire, high output coil. Spark is really amazing on this. Some little LED turn signals, which you can't really see too well, but they work pretty darn good. Electronic gauges versus the old mechanical gauges. The pickup for the speedometer is actually on the rear wheel down here, and it works exceedingly well. The triple trees are handmade in Colorado Norton Workshop, all billet aluminum, single piece, very beefy, very stable for the front end, very nice. You'll notice it has two hydraulic reservoirs. One is for the front brake, but the other one is for the clutch. This bike did not have a hydraulic clutch in 1974. It had a mechanical clutch, which took 2 men and a good-sized boy to pull the lever in. Right now, it's a 2-finger clutch, and the reason is, if you look down here, there's an actual slave cylinder inside this case for the hydraulic clutch. A gentleman named Jim Comstock, he was an engineer. He was genius. He got together with Matt Rambo of Colorado Norton Works and developed this hydraulic clutch. Actually, Jim came out with it first, and Matt at Colorado Norton Works took over and modified it. Very well hidden, very trick, very cool. It's all copper inside. It really makes a difference in shifting. Speaking of shifting, yes, the shift is on the right side, not on the left side. In 1975, they put the shift on the other side, which was nothing more than a pass-through, and it was to appease some weird regulation where the shift has to be on the left side of motorcycle starting in 75. I'm not sure about that. The shift pattern is different too. It's 1 up, 3 down. It's a 4-speed. And it says right there, there's your little numbers for your speed if you forget what gear you're in. So not only is it on the wrong side, but the shift pattern is wrong. So there will be a point where you're going to think you're putting the brake on and you're actually going into a higher gear. That's not very good. Kickstarter comes with the bike. Last time I tried to kickstart it, my shoe went flying into the neighbor's yard. Really. I don't do that anymore. Too old for that crap. I use the electric start, which is not factory on a 1974. Well, this is a Colorado Norton Works special modification. The crankcase on the other side had to be CNC'd for it to fit, with a dry clutch and a dry belt system. And it works amazingly well to start this bike, as you have seen. These carburetors are a little bit over the top. They're KN flat slides with accelerator pump and a special Colorado Norton Works idle adjuster on that. They're a bit much, but I'll tell you what, the bike goes really well with these on. Unlike the original Amels where you had to actually tickle them and hope that it started and it was just painful. This bike is plug and play. You push the button and go and ride. Nothing better than that. This bike has isoelastic mounts for the engine. There's 2 of them. There's one right here and there's one buried back in there. These are adjustable and they make the Norton smooth out after idle. When I first got this bike, I started up in my garage, which was kind of a slick painted garage floor, and an idle on the center stand, it would walk itself around in a circle very slowly. And I didn't know why it was doing that, so I asked a bunch of the experts, and they said, oh, don't worry, it's just marking its territory. The pea shooter pipes, upswept Norton pea shooters. Nothing sounds like them, nothing looks like them. It's an amazing exhaust system. Single wall, you can tell by the coloring on the pipes. Also, the engine itself, the jugs, cylinders are canted forward, unlike the upright Triumph cylinders. It gives it a much more pleasing aesthetic look. It has a turning radius of a 1974 Country Squire wood panel station wagon. Takes quite a lot. The only thing I don't really like about this bike is the rear tail light. It looks like a big shoebox. It is one of the original parts on the bike. I've yet to find a good aftermarket quality one. And it does have LED lights inside the plastic housing. Fairly easy bike to get on the center stand. Here's the other side of the starter motor. You can see it's all been CNC'd on the side case and the center case as well. The original drive belt system, primary drive, was a triple chain and oiled. We've done away with that. We put in a belt drive system and with Sprague clutch for the starter motor to get this thing going. Works great. Haven't had to replace the belt yet. Corbin seat. I had it handmade for this bike. Red coloring matches the bike itself, and it's right out of a Fred Flintstone car. It's about as hard as a rock. It's called the Gunslinger. It looks nice, but it's pretty hard seat. But it fits the bike perfectly. She'll go 100 miles an hour in a pinch and stop on a dime and doesn't leak oil. Good luck saying that about your original Norton. Although I do love original bikes, and I do have a few of them, I like the reliability and the performance of this bike. It's a screamer. In summary, it's my favorite bike, always will be. It took a long time to do. It was worth every penny, quite expensive. It took 5 times as long to build and about 6 times as expensive as I thought, but it's worth every single penny and effort that I put into this bike here. Truly an amazing machine. Some people collect stamps, some people collect other things. I collect vintage motorcycles and I like to restore them. This is the pride of my fleet. I have some other rare bikes, as you may see in one of other Chris's videos. We'll leave a link in the description below. But all in all, the Norton gives you a thrill. It's visceral. If you want to go 150 miles an hour, buy a modern bike. If you want to thoroughly enjoy the ride, cruising around about 60, 70 miles an hour through the mountains, this is the bike to do it on, bar none. Great bike, reliable, fast, and fun. Enjoy the Norton motorcycle. was that? Seriously. We're trying to shoot a video here. Damn. And the dogs and the... You hear all that shit? Oh dear God, we'll never get through this. Never. Shut the dog. Oh my God. Okay, it's got shocks. These are aftermarket. I forget what they are, but they're really good, you know.
The guy's blowing like right now, like all this going in your garage.
I can ask him just for 2 minutes. Yes, it runs as good as it looks.